going on, guys? Dino Bam Bam here with the 10-7 MMA. Happy to be back in your lives with another quick picks. And finally, it is here, guys. UFC 319 takes place this Saturday right here in downtown Chicago, and we couldn't be more excited. It's been about 6 years since the UFC's been here. Used to be a yearly thing that they would come out to Chicago. It's been 6 years, so we're goddamn excited. Guys, this week is super busy for me and DS. We got a bunch of videos, bunch of content coming out. Interviews with Brian Battle, Tim Elliott, Kendra Lust is in town. We're hopefully linking up with her and doing something. Not like that. My girl's going to be with me, so I'm just saying we're trying to link up with Kendra Lust. Nina Drama's in town. The whole gang is here. We're going to be linking up with a lot of people, so if you guys are looking forward to that, do like the thing at the bottom says, like and subscribe. We are almost at 2,000, and we really do appreciate it, guys. That would mean the world to us to get to that random milestone, but never thought we'd get there. But there, here we are. Anyways, you can also follow us on Instagram at D107MMA. You're going to see a bunch of pictures with us and fighters. We're going to be at the press conference, the weigh-ins, the meet and greets. So check us out there. Let's get into the first fight. Let's fly through this shit, guys. First fight of the night, the Ultimate Fighter finale between Alibi Idris and Joseph Morales. Guys, Alibi is a technician, a nasty striker. He's quick. He's light on his feet. He has great movement in and out. He can finish the fight in a plethora of ways. He's at his most dangerous early in fights, this guy. And we saw that in the Ultimate Fighter last time out. Super dangerous dude. Especially when he starts to put those combos together. There's really not much a lot of those guys were able to do, at least in the house, against the Alibi. Let's see what happens here. He's taking on the grappler, Joseph Bopo Morales. A guy, a former UFC fighter, right? Had a tough run in the UFC, 1-2. Lost the fight to future champion at that point, Davison Figueiredo. And this guy's really goddamn well-rounded. He is a great grappler. He has nasty submissions. And he's just a tough dude through and through. I think, guys, what's going to happen here is Alibi's going to come out fast. He's going to look great in the first round. And as soon as he makes a mistake, whether that's getting sloppy or even slowing down just a little bit, Joseph is going to get this fight to the ground. He's going to get the back, and he's going to get a submission. So give me Bopo Morales, round 2, RNC. Now, before we move to the next fight, little spoiler, spoiler alert here, spoiler warning. It's going to be the second Ultimate Fighter finale. If you guys don't know who's going to win, we already know who's going to win. We're in Chicago. We know who's at the hotel. We know who's prepping for the fight. So we have the word. If you guys haven't seen that episode or you're not looking to get that spoiled for you, fast forward. Timestamps will be at the bottom. So skip through this goddamn thing. Giving you 3 seconds. And we're going on to the next fight. Next fight of the night, guys, Rodrigo Senzindo, and he is taking on Danil Donenko, who will win tonight's episode of The Ultimate Fighter. But let's start with Rodrigo Senzindo, guys. Probably the star of this season. It was kind of a boring season of The Ultimate Fighter. This guy was maybe the fan favorite. I feel like people were rooting for him with the other Brazilian, Gancini or whatever his name was, being an asshole to him. Either way, guys, Rodrigo is a well-rounded fighter. He can mix his striking and his wrestling very smoothly. He's patient. He's composed. He doesn't rush into danger. And he's the kind of guy that can win rounds by making fights sloppy, right? He's a grinder who knows how to win rounds. The things that I worry about with him, well, it's a singular thing really that I worry about, and it's his cardio. It has looked goddamn sus. He has taken on Danil Donenko, guys, a finisher, an absolutely nasty finisher, a former champion in the regional scene out there in Europe. High percentage of his wins come by knockout, right? That's what he does. He throws heavy. He throws heavy, especially early, but he doesn't seem to fade as much as Rodrigo does, in my humble opinion. That's the reason I'm going Danil Donenko, round 3 TKO. I think Rodrigo is going to try to play it safe early in that first round, second round, try to utilize his grappling. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. He's eventually going to slow down, guys, and I think that's what Danil Donenko is going to catch him, put him away with a round 3 TKO. Now we get on to the real stuff. Karini Silva versus Diani Barbosa. Guys, Karini Silva, aggressive, physical flyweight. Great grappling game. She takes over fights with it. Even when she doesn't get herself a quick finish, she knows how to put herself in those positions and grind away rounds with control. She knows how to land damage on the ground. She knows how to maintain the position. She knows how to bank rounds. And I really do like that from Karini Silva. She's taking on Diani Barbosa, also skilled on the mat, but definitely less proven at this point at the high level versus Karini Silva, right? She's tough. She can make this fight competitive early. I just don't see her withstanding Karini Silva withstanding the pressure and the control. I think this fight does go to distance, so I don't know if withstand was the right word, but I think she's just not going to be able to bank the rounds that Karini Silva will. Karini Silva dictates where this fight takes place, and it's probably going to be on the ground with her on top. Give me Karini Silva by decision. And there he is, and our boy, Brian Battle, who we will be linking up with either tomorrow or Thursday, yet to be, finalized. He has taken on Nursultan Ruzaboyev. Big-ass dude. Anyways, guys, Nursultan Ruzaboyev, unpredictable, awkward striking style, big-ass dude, tons and tons of experience professionally, great finishing ability both on the feet and on the ground. This is a big-ass dude for 185. He tends to overwhelm a lot of his opponents if they're not prepared for that level of violence. And he is taking on our boy Brian Battle. Brian Battle, tough, durable, a gas tank to finish fights late in the fight. He's dangerous as hell in scrambles, and he's well-rounded, guys. He can win striking exchanges with volume. He can win them with power, and he's good enough to scramble with Nursultan Ruzaboyev. Minus 162. I'm going to be honest with you. I expected Brian Battle to be the underdog. It is what it is. I'm going Brian Battle. I think he survives early chaos, settles in, takes over, and wins the decision. We move on. We're going, guys. We are flying. Edson Barbosa taking on Drakkar Klose. Guys, Edson Barbosa, what is there to say? A veteran of the game, a legend of the game, dare I say, a guy that's fought everybody in this goddamn division. Some of the best kicks in UFC history, spinning wheel kicks and just disgusting knockouts. Speed, timing, shot selection, unbelievable from this guy. The only thing with Edson Barbosa that he's ever needed was space. And the only problem with Edson Barbosa now is that he's aging. Has he gotten over the hill? Is he on the decline? I mean, he's definitely on the decline. It's not the Edson Barbosa of his prime, but is he over the hill? He has taken on Drakkar Klose, a very pressure-heavy fighter. He likes to crowd you. He likes to make it ugly. He likes to keep you from ever getting comfortable. He likes to walk his opponents down, and I expect that's what he's going to do to Edson Barbosa. Walk him down, try to stay in his face, stay in the clinch range, maybe some wrestling exchanges, and just make it a slow-paced, boring, pressure-heavy kind of fight. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm leaning Drakkar Klose. I like the plus 120 here. I think he closes the distance often enough to bank himself 3 rounds and edges out maybe even a split decision. So give me Drakkar Klose by decision. Next fight of the night, we got Chase Hooper taking on the man who's notoriously probably cost me the most money in betting MMA, and that's Alexander Hernandez. Guys, Chase Hooper, awkward, improving every goddamn fight, though, right? I mean, we've seen this kid grow up in the UFC. I met Chase Hooper 4 years ago, maybe, and he was already like a 3-year veteran. I feel like Chase Hooper has been in the UFC since he was like 11. But anyways, guys, the grappling is obviously disgusting from Chase Hooper. He is a snake on the ground. He's a boa constrictor. The striking has been improving, right? He worked a little bit with Wonder Boy, and we saw him drop Slava and all that, and maybe that was the threat of the wrestling. But Chase Hooper is starting to fill out, guys. He looks good at 155. The key for him is going to be surviving the early onslaught that is Alexander Hernandez, because he is goddamn explosive super early, powerful hands, super athletic, super powerful, some nasty knockouts. I remember the knee over Beneil Dariush, which was just like a coming out party for Alex Hernandez. The problem with him has always been consistency. We just never know which Alexander Hernandez is showing up. I'm seeing plus 275, guys, and I can't get over the fact that I've seen Chase Hooper look sloppy at times. I know he's on a complete roll here. I know he's on fire. He's been winning these fights. I'm gonna take the risk. I'm going Alexander Hernandez plus 275. I love that. I think he lands big. I think he lands early. I think he hurts Chase Hooper, and I don't think we see Chase Hooper get knocked out cold. I think this is more of a TKO scenario where he's just hurt and crumbling to the ground and trying to pull guard as he's hurt, falling into those habits, right? And Alexander Hernandez just not playing that game, swarming him. So give me Hernandez, round 1 TKO. And maybe, just maybe, Alexander Hernandez gets me some of my goddamn money back, right? Moving on to the next fight of the night, we've got Jessica Andrade, and she is taking on Lupo Godinez. Lupo Godinez, very similar to Alex Hernandez. She has all the tools in her arsenal to be one of the best fighters in her division. She's just inconsistent as hell, guys. We never know which Lupo Godinez is coming out. When she's at her best, she's well-rounded. She's technical, great boxing, good footwork, unbelievably underrated wrestling. She's durable. She's awesome. She's willing to fight through the pain and fight through the struggles. Last time out, if you guys remember, she went to her corner. She's like, I got a shit. And she fought while needing to take a shit. So that's something. But sometimes we see Lupo Godinez, and it's like, what the hell has she been working on? I don't understand the game plan. She's taking on a former champion in Bate Azteca, Jessica Andrade, one of my favorite female fighters of all time. Just an absolute powerhouse, short, stocky, explosive, able to close the distance with big hooks, nasty slams. Of course, we remember the Rose Namajunas one. When she's on, she's able to overwhelm these girls. She is able to put power on them that they haven't seen in these divisions. Jessica Andrade also been a little inconsistent as of late. Guys, again, plus money here. Jessica Andrade, I know I'm going underdog heavy on this card. I mean, we are at 73% on the year on our picks. I'm okay with missing a few and taking the risk on somebody I like. So give me Jessica Andrade versus an inconsistent Lupo Godinez. If I knew that Lupo Godinez was going to come out there and fight the way she's supposed to and fight clean and technical, I would pick her. I just don't know that I can do that. So I'll take the risk with Jessica Andrade, lands the heavier shots, controls the clinch, wins herself a decision. We move on to an interesting fight. GM3, Gerald Meerschaert, as he takes on Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Guys, Gerald Meerschaert, a submission machine, right? We know his deal. He's sort of like a Paul Craig, but better. Just a guy who is never out of a fight. He's tough. He's gritty. He's willing to get his ass whooped. Don't let him get a hold of you. If he gets a hold of you, you are probably getting tapped out. He is not the fastest. He is not the most powerful. He's not the most technical, but god damn it, is he good if he gets a hold of you. He is absolutely lethal on the ground, and he has taken on Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. Literally the opposite. Just a very, very good striker. More power than GM3. Aggressive, fast hands, good body shots. He likes to break his opponents early. His kryptonite has always been the grappler, right? Who can survive that early flurry, get him down, and then he's absolutely cooked on the ground. I want to pick Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, guys. I really do. And up until this moment, I think I was picking him, but I'm just going to go with the dog again. I like Gerald Meerschaert in sort of a hometown fight. I believe he's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's going to have a lot of people in the building, and I just don't see GM3 getting put out early, guys. So give me Gerald Meerschaert. I feel like he gets himself a submission in round 3, and that was honestly on the fly. On my paper here, I have Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, round 1 KO. I'm switching it to GM3. That's just how I'm feeling. Give me GM3 by sub, round 2 late. Moving on. King Green, Bobby Green, and he's taking on Carlos Diego Ferreira. Guys, Bobby Green's boxing, slick, nasty, hands low, shoulders always rolling, and he's got that whole hands down showboat style. Then he gets knocked the fuck out by Mauricio Hufi by getting spinning wheel kick to the dome. And Bobby Green, what is there to say about Bobby Green? He's a showboat striker. He's always been an underrated grappler. He has some impressive wins on his resume. He has some losses against people that he probably shouldn't have lost to. He's old at this point. He's a veteran at this point. And we kind of know that Bobby Green is notoriously inconsistent. He has taken on a guy in Carlos Diego Ferreira who's a really fast striker, great pace, great striking. And the grappling was always his thing, especially early on in his UFC career. This was a guy that was consistently in the top 15, top 10 for years, guys. And he was known as a grappler. And now later on in his career, we're starting to see some really good striking fundamentals. He's also old too, right? So again, a coin flip fight here. If it's a coin flip and I'm having to pick somebody, I guess I'll go Bobby Green. I don't imagine Diego Ferreira is going to be able to take him down, control him, and wrestle fudge him for 3 rounds. I don't see that happening. I don't see Bobby Green involving himself in the grappling exchanges with Carlos Diego Ferreira. I think this fight mostly stays on the feet. Diego Ferreira can absolutely turn the lights off on Bobby Green. Let's not get that twisted. When he puts people out, he puts them out. But I just think Bobby Green is going to be too slick. Bobby Green, every time he gets caught, except the Mauricio Hufi fight, he looks like the better striker. He's fast, he's quick, he's flashy, he's putting some damage out there. Then he just gets clipped. I don't see that happening. Give me Bobby Green by decision, guys. We move on to the first fight of the main card, and it's going to be our boy, Tim Elliott, who we are interviewing this week, and he has taken on Kaio Sakura, who is an absolutely massive favorite here for his second fight in the UFC. And his first fight was a loss, but even though that was to Alexandre Pantoja. Guys, Tim Elliott, one of those vets that's fought everyone. He's seen every style. He knows what the deal is. He's very awkward. like his Instagram and Twitter name, I believe, is Awkward MMA. He pressures a lot, absolutely relentless in the scrambles, and another dude that is nasty on the ground. He's not afraid to make these fights messy, make them scrappy, and I think he really needs to get this fight to the ground against Kaio Sakura, guys, because Kaio Sakura is stepping in with still a ton of hype, right? Like, what did we really learn about him against Alexandre Pantoja? We knew he's going to throw those big shots against Pantoja, and then the moment Pantoja was able to take him down, and he basically subbed him. We knew he wasn't going to be able to grapple with him. It was, can he catch Pantoja? And he didn't. He's a dangerous striker, nasty knockout power, a knack for finding clean shots in the exchange. But the big question is how are you going to handle Tim Elliott's pace and Tim Elliott's grappling if he's able to get you to the ground? So official pick, I guess, is going to be Kaio Sakura, but there's money to be made on Tim Elliott here, guys. I'm definitely sprinkling on Tim Elliott. It is what it is, and I believe this is the first time I'm picking against somebody who we're interviewing, even though he has a good shot at winning this fight. I just have to pick Kaio Sakura. Minus 310 is absolutely fucking bananas, though. We move on. Next fight of the night, we've got the Killer Gorilla, Jared Cannonier versus MVP Michael Venom Page. Cannonier, you guys know what he brings, right? He brings lots of power. He brings lots of patience. He's always a threat to end the fight with one clean shot. And it looks like to me, though, that the power is starting to fade on Jared Cannonier. Michael Venom Page, on the other hand, an absolutely disgusting striker, super quick in and out movement, covers distance like nobody else in this goddamn sport. And he picks his opponents apart from outside. He's going to be taller. He's going to be longer. He's going to be faster. And Jared Cannonier is a relatively slow fighter. So I don't see how he lands on MVP. To me, this fight is simple. I think MVP is going to frustrate Jared Cannonier with his distance, his control, his flashy offense, and he's going to win himself a decision. I think this is free cheese at minus 198. Give me MVP, Michael Venom Page. Moving on to the next fight, the featured fight of the night, guys. We've got Geoff Neal, and he's taking on Carlos Pratz. Geoff Neal has that compact boxing style, nice knockout power. He's just a stocky, durable, tough veteran who's seen everything in this game. And guys, Carlos Pratz last time out, yes, he got picked apart by Ian Gary for 4 rounds and 4 minutes, right? And he had almost got that knockout of Ian Gary, which I don't know how hurt Ian Gary actually was. I think it was just an awkward situation. But guys, Carlos Pratz, let's not take anything away from him. First of all, Ian Gary is an unbelievable fighter. He is truly one of the best in the world in this division. And I think Carlos Pratz just kind of got thrown into the deep end a little too early. I think this fight with Geoff Neal, Carlos Pratz is going to have all the advantages. He's going to have the speed advantage on the feet. He's going to have the length advantage on the feet. He's going to have the power advantage on the feet. We've seen him touch people and put them out. I just don't see it, guys. I think Pratz is going to push the pace, be too fast for Geoff Neal, who I have a lot of respect for, a guy with some really nasty boxing, great fundamentals. But I just think Pratz is, even though he lost, still on the rise here in the UFC. And this is going to be a guy in the top of these rankings for years to come. So give me Carlos Pratz by just winning exchanges throughout this fight, just being the sharper, a little bit more accurate fighter. So Carlos Pratz by decision is going to be the pick. Now, if we're going to be picking an underdog, guys, to me, I know I picked like 5 of them. This is my most comfortable underdog of the night. It's going to be Lerone Murphy taking on the newcomer from Bellator / PFL, I guess at this point, Aaron Pico. Guys, if you don't know about Aaron Pico, this dude is an absolute animal. He is very goddamn athletic. He was a very, very high-level wrestler. He was at the Olympic trials, I believe. Got really far in that. Like, he was almost an Olympic wrestler for the United States. That should tell you what you need to know about Aaron Pico. He then went on to do some boxing, not actual boxing, but training boxing, and got into MMA immediately after that. So he's been training combat sports damn near his whole life. He's athletic. He has nasty knockout power. One of the best highlight reels you'll see in Bellator, I guess besides MVP's, is Aaron Pico's. I just don't know, guys. This is a guy that I've seen a ton of in Bellator and PFL, and I've never been a huge believer in Aaron Pico. And a lot of the MMA purists out there might think I'm an asshole or I'm wrong. I just never bought the hype with Aaron Pico. I've seen him lose in Bellator. 2 real losses, 1 fake one. I guess that last one was kind of fraudulent. But I just never believed in him. Not that I super believe in Lerone Murphy, but he is a very calculated fighter, guys. He's durable. He's patient. He's calculated. He picks his shots and gets out of range. He's very tough to hit, Lerone Murphy. And he's going to see those big looping shots coming from Aaron Pico for my money. Plus 154 for an undefeated guy who's been in the UFC for a while now, who's fought the majority of his fights at this point in the UFC. To me, it's kind of a no-brainer. We've seen Patchy come in and underperform. We've seen Patricio Pitbull come in and underperform. I have no reason to believe that Aaron Pico, who to me is the worst of those three guys, all things considered. I know that Pitbull's a lot older and Patchy just put on a shitty performance, but Aaron Pico, to me, if I had to rate those guys, is third. So I just don't know how he beats an undefeated UFC guy. Give me Lerone Murphy by decision. And finally, guys, the moment we've been waiting for, the biggest fight that the UFC could put on at this point, besides Ilya and Islam, I guess, is Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. Guys, Khamzat is finally getting his opportunity to go for the belt. It's against Dricus du Plessis, who has been absolutely phenomenal in his UFC career. Now, if you guys are interested in hearing a little bit more of an in-depth breakdown, I dropped a video yesterday that kind of describes why the MMA community is so 50-50 on this fight. And I'm basically 50-50 on this fight, right? There are a couple advantages that I'm giving to somebody here, and I'm going to get into those. I just want you to know that I can't blame you for picking either one of these guys. But let's start with Dricus du Plessis, guys. Undefeated in the UFC. The champ has been absolutely disgusting. Early on in his UFC run, the question marks were always, how the hell is this guy winning? And then he won his next fight. And then everyone was like, how is this guy winning? And he won his next fight. And that hype train of people forgetting about the whole how's he winning this fight, that hype train started building and building and building to the point where these analysts and a lot of these pro fighters like, I can't pick against Dricus du Plessis anymore. He is an anomaly. I understand that everything he's doing is not technical. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look right. But he's finding a way to win, and he's beating guys like Robert Whittaker and Sean Strickland and Israel Adesanya, and he's figuring it out, guys. He is tough, he is gritty, and he is awkward as all hell. He is taking on Khamzat Chimaev. Guys, we know what the deal is with Khamzat Chimaev. This dude is an absolute marauder. He is going to come out and be the most aggressive thing you've ever seen in an octagon in round one. In that video, I broke down that I believe Khamzat Chimaev is a 15 out of 10 or 17. I said some number. I think it was 17. But he is an unbelievable fighter in the first round. He's the best first-round fighter I've ever seen in my life. The question mark with Khamzat Chimaev has been and will always be until we get it proven, the cardio, right? The two times we've seen Khamzat Chimaev in the third round, guys, he's looked pretty goddamn bad. If he was a 17 in round one, he's like a 6 out of 10 fighter in round three. Go watch the Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman fights. Gilbert Burns, much smaller than Dricus du Plessis, right? Kamaru Usman, less healthy and less physical at that juncture on short notice, up a weight class, older with his knees rocked, much less athletic and powerful than Dricus du Plessis. So if those guys, and again, both are grapplers, right? Gilbert Burns, a jiu-jitsu world champion. Kamaru Usman, of course, we know he's a phenomenal wrestler. Those guys were able to survive those positions, whereas Robert Whittaker and Li Jiangliang and Kevin Holland and everybody else wasn't able to survive those positions with Khamzat. These two were, and if you look at everything, right? You look at what we have and all the fights that Khamzat's finishing in the first round versus the two that he didn't. The story is kind of the same. These are dominant, immediate finishes because he was able to take the guys down. And in these two fights, he wasn't able to control those guys. Even though he did control Kamaru Usman, he wasn't able to finish him early in the first round. Then he has to go to a 3-round war. Now, the question mark has been, what happens when we get to round 4 and 5, right? A lot of people think Kamaru Usman would have beat Khamzat Chimaev. A lot of people think he did beat Khamzat Chimaev. I don't think so. But, guys, he looks like dog shit in round 3. So that's where my concern is. It's as simple as everyone's making it out to be. It's either going to be Khamzat early or Dricus late. I truly do believe that. With that being said, I'm going Khamzat Chimaev, guys. I have to. I think the athleticism, the explosiveness, the aggression is going to get to Dricus du Plessis. He is going to take him down immediately as Khamzat Chimaev does. He is going to lay some nasty ground and pound on him until he's able to either get into an arm triangle position or, God forbid, take Dricus's back. Then it's ball game, I think. I mean, Dricus has huge shoulders and a thick-ass neck, so maybe he's able to do all this shit and survive the first round. I would love to see that because I just want those question marks answered. I want to see Khamzat in round 4 and 5 as a fan of this sport. I want to see that, and I want to see what he looks like. I just don't think that we get there, guys. I think Khamzat does what Khamzat does. Now, if this fight does stay on the feet, I think early on in the fight, Khamzat does have the technical advantage. Dricus du Plessis does not have a technique advantage over anyone, over anybody in this sport. The technique is awkward. It's ugly. He doesn't throw the most powerful strikes in the world, but the guy is fucking gritty and he's determined. So we'll see what happens. I think Khamzat gets the finish in the first round. I would love to see this fight go to rounds 3, 4, and 5 for sure, just to see what this guy looks like after fighting such a grueling pace early. After the 2 fights, we've seen him look exhausted in the third. What does that look like in round 4? But anyways, I'm going Khamzat Chimaev and new guys. If you guys are enjoying the content, and if you enjoyed, do me a favor, hit me with a thumbs up. Hit us with the subscribe button. We're trying to get to that 2,000. And look at our Instagram. Check out our Instagram. We're going to be dropping a ton of content with Dana Black. Harry from Pro Schmo Bets is going to be on the channel this week. As I mentioned, Tim Elliott, Brian Battle, Kendra Lust, hopefully, Nina, hopefully. We got a lot of shit going on. So check us out, guys. I will see you guys really goddamn soon at UFC 319. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.